Hey everyone, welcome back. Episode 81. It's Natasha Foreman. I'm here with you, blessed and excited and ready to go. Oh, wow. So, we've got an interesting and exciting episode lined up for today. We're going to look at, living for others and when that goes wrong. Way wrong. Let's start off with a quote. Let's get our focus aligned properly. It's a quote from Herbert Bayer Swope that says, "I cannot give you the formula for success, but I can give you the formula for failure. It is try to please everybody." And there is another quote from Eunice Camacho that says, "In the end, people will judge you anyways, so don't live your life impressing others. Live your life impressing yourself." Yeah, there you go. And with that, we're going to talk today about the reasons we should not live for others' approval and why we should stop living through others, right? And thinking somehow that our efforts can sustain or elevate them, thereby positioning us to live for them. We have to really remember that our life is ours. It's that simple. It's ours. And yes, it can be our mission to serve others and to teach and uplift others. That's my mission. You know, my company's mission is to help people find and achieve their why. But it's their mission to do whatever work is required of them, to do what they're supposed to do. So we can give hands up, but people still have to do the work that's required to get up, out, and to then maintain that new norm. If not, they go back to their old ways, their old situations, the old environments, the old scenarios, the old mindset. And I will say that when we become someone else's world, we don't get much room to grow and explore because our space is being taken up. And it can be taken up by two or more people. I get our natural inclination to do this is tied to seeking approval from the parental and familial figures we were raised with, and it flowed into the relationships we had with our teachers and coaches and wanting to gain their approval, acceptance, and be told that we're good, great, worthy, etc. But when do you start living for yourself? When do you start stamping yourself with your own stamp of approval? Do you only think you're good enough or worthy enough when someone else says it? Do you need the accolades, awards, recognition to feel whole and complete? Are setting and achieving your own goals not enough? Let's be honest, in a realist, not cynical way, and look at our environment and the people we have chosen to hold all this power and authority over us. Who's putting in the long hours at work, in your classes, on those projects? It's you, not them. The countless lab hours, all you. Your free throw percentages increased because you put in the work and applied the lessons learned. Those hours in the gym, the blood, sweat, and tears, it's you. Yes, you could be coached, but your coach isn't doing the work they're coaching you to do. You are. That instrument you play, The music you create, it's you. And if you believe in a higher power, a creator, God, then only your God should be granted the power and authority over you, which means you're acknowledging that you live because you believe your creator gave you life and has dominion over your life. There's not another being or force that can make that claim, not even your parents. Your birth mother was your vessel, providing you temporary housing for roughly 9 months in her womb, and you shared whatever meals and beverages she consumed. And we already know the gist of the first 18 years post-delivery, for the most part, right? Well, this leads my thinking to a quote from Steve Jobs, where he had said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." I want you to be honest with yourself. I have some questions, and I want you to answer these questions truthfully, and don't hesitate. Like, this is not like this long, belabored type of pontification. Don't hesitate with it. Just speak what first comes to your mind. So I have these quick questions, and just rapid fire. What comes to mind, I want you to just say it, write it, whatever. So here we go. What are your hobbies? How did you choose them? If you went to college, how did you choose which college to attend? How did you choose your major? If you're in a fraternity or sorority, how did you choose which one to pledge? Why are you in your current job, your current career field? Why don't you spend all your time on your favorite hobbies? Instead of all your time at work. So how many the choices that, were by your own doing, research and desires? How many were by the introduction, urging, suggestions of someone else, like a parent or a teacher? Excuse me. Getting over the yuckies. This reminds me of a quote that it ties in with the Steve Jobs quote. It's from L. Bonzar, which said, "Stop living your life according to the expectations of others. Instead, live the life of your own dreams." Right? We have these dreams, and they're not there to tease us, to taunt us. They're there to inspire us, to encourage us, to remind us of what is possible, and for us to pursue, for us to be open and accepting of and in agreement with. And we allow other people to come in and derail our dreams, to poo-poo on our dreams. And we have a tendency of telling people that the world, doesn't owe them anything, yet we fail to tell the world that these individuals also don't owe them anything, right? So, you'll tell a child that the world doesn't owe you anything, but who's telling the adult who said that? And the world doesn't owe you anything. I don't owe you anything. None of us are entitled to the physical resources we acquire, the material possessions we buy, consume, collect, and hoard. And that means that no one knows all that there is, and that means that no one owes us anything just because of the title we have earned, been given, or gave ourselves. And those of you that are parents, you became a parent, you raised and nurtured a child or 2 or 15 or 20, I don't know. Some of you guys are masters of bringing these lives into this world. And you did the best you could with the limited knowledge and resources you had and have. And maybe with your counsel and leadership, they left the nest, or they're preparing to leave the nest, and they'll soar successfully through life. But what do they owe you for that? Your children didn't ask to come into this chaotic world. They didn't send you a memo, a friend request. They didn't swipe left or right on your profile. They entered this world traumatized and wondering, what's going on? Where am I? Who are you? And who are you? And why did they smack me on my butt? Is that what that's my butt? That's what that's called? I mean, seriously. Don't position your children to believe that their days on this planet are to be spent seeking and somehow gaining your approval and doing anything and everything they can to receive it. Celebrate them because they did great things and big things and small things and significant things and insignificant things and silly things, brilliant things, or just because you love them. Celebrate them because you love having them in your life, because you love seeing and feeling their energy interacting in this world. That love then encourages them. Like this Ralph Waldo Emerson quote that I found, where he says, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." When you can do that. When you have that foundation. But you can't do that if you're too busy following behind people or waiting for permission or approval. When our love is unconditional, we don't feel the need to pop the whip and remind people of what we've done for them and tell other people, you know what I did for them? Do you know what I got them? And we never allow our mouths to form the words, "You owe me." That's a condition, folks. Now let's clear some things up. If you loaned them money or other property, yes, they're supposed to repay it and return it as agreed upon. But if you gave a gift, then shut your mouth. Just shut it. Zip it up. Stop. Put some food in it. If you wanted constant acknowledgement for your gift giving, then you should have recorded yourself giving the gift, and then you could keep the video playing on loop, watching that moment over and over and over again, just getting that kibble high that you want. And if that floats your boat, that's what you should have done. You could secretly just watch yourself giving gifts to people all over whenever you want. That's a scary idea. And the visual I just had was even scarier. I see a lot of people who are desperate to be accepted and approved, and they'll give gifts to impress others, to receive credit and kudos and a pat on the back, the head, whatever, maybe the butt. And the gift isn't about the recipient. The gift is now about the sender when you create that type of exchange. So is that truly giving, or is that a twisted, perverted form of taking? I'll let you ponder that. I want you to think about the goals you've set for yourself over the past 5, 10, 20 plus years. Maybe you haven't gone that far, but some of you probably have. And how many things did you not pursue over the years because of family, friends, or someone you were dating? Because they supposedly wouldn't be able to handle you living so far away, or wouldn't be able to handle your success, fame, wealth, or whatever. And they didn't like something or approve of it, so you turned it down and walked away. But why? You weren't asking them to do the work. You weren't asking them to do a thing. Yet they carry that much power and authority over you. Like, you're still a little child living in your parents' or grandparents' or caregivers' home, getting lunch money and allowance from them. Really? Still up there slurping down that Frosted Flakes, trying to get that milk out the bowl. I mean, oh my goodness. There's a quote from Will Smith that says, "Stop letting people who do so little for you control so much of your mind, feelings, and emotions." And what must be extremely painful is the reality of how many ideas you let go of and let someone else pursue because you were more influenced by this person or that person in your life who now isn't even around. And yeah, the friend you're no longer friends with, yeah, that person. The boyfriend or girlfriend that is long gone and off living their life doing whatever with whomever. Most likely, they're all pursuing and achieving their dreams and goals, yet they spent months and years helping you to squash or ignore or run from yours. I can recall the career moves I didn't make because I was influenced by, whichever man I was romantically involved with, who convinced me not to do something. And, looking back, it was due to their insecurity. But guess what? I can't be mad at them. I made the choice. I chose what they wanted for me rather than what I wanted for myself. And the thing is, where are those men now? Not with me. Various dreams that I had, various opportunities that were presented to me that I poo-pooed on for someone else. I wasn't living my life. I was living life for them through them. Flag on the wrong. Too many players on the field. Oh my goodness. There's a quote from Dr. Steve Maraboli that says, "Stop living within the confines of how others define you. You weren't created to live their life. You were created to live yours. So live it. You can reignite that fire within and bring the passion back into your goals, dreams, ambitions, careers, and relationships by reclaiming control of your own life. Be unapologetically you." Oh, goodness. That just hit me in all kinds of ways. I don't know about you. Let me adjust this really quick. There we go. There are some suggestions that I found from mental health professionals and life coaches with ways to stop living for others in the toxic sense, right? And stop living for other people's lives. And I want to be able to share those. They're helpful that hopefully we all apply and reinforce in our lives. And since my beliefs and your beliefs were first formed in childhood as internal scripts, those scripts have influenced the way our lives play out. And you need to start questioning that internal script and the beliefs behind it. You could very well be living as the character from someone else's life and not being your unique self. The second thing was that we need to be able to take a step back and consider the bigger picture of life, the infinite time that you have to live it. And consider your dreams, your real dreams and goals that you want to focus on instead of the ones you think you should have. And here's the thing, I'm just kind of thinking about in my mind right now. It's not infinite, that's finite. just sometimes when you say something and you play it back in your mind like, huh? Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. If this is your first time listening in, you have to work with me on the fact that my mind will start playing things through, and I'm like, or if I read something, to you guys, and I'm like, I start to process it. But no, it should be finite. And I guess, That's also relative. That's another conversation for another day. Because I could say this in an argument, my counter argument, and then I'm going to get back on track, is that although we have a finite amount of time in this body, if you believe in life after, then you have infinite time. So, but let's keep it focused on here. We have a finite amount of time in the bodies that we've been given to live, and we have to really consider that and consider our true and the genuine goals and dreams that we want to focus on instead of what we think we should have. So with that, the third thing is that we need to be able to invest in our self-awareness, and through self-work like journaling and finding therapists or coaches that can help uncover our authentic values. And we can then work through life transitions and create a vision and move towards a life that is meaningful and satisfying to us, right? To you. Versus I sit back and I was thinking about that, and I spoke to my sister about this yesterday, and I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was this morning earlier. But I was thinking about different people and that they've been living to work, working to live. Like, does that make sense? It's like I have not seen them, where they're traveling anywhere, taking a vacation, they were doing anything fun for themselves. They don't have any hobbies. All I've ever seen them do is they're just working for someone else, and their day off, they're just, watching TV and maybe doing laundry. I don't really think that as a child and as a young adult that was the picture they had of themselves, that was the vision, that those were the dreams and goals that they wanted to pursue. I really don't. I think that they compromised in certain areas, and I think that they by default accepted this as there is. But I truly don't think that this has to be your all. And notice when you defer to others' values, beliefs, and ways, if you can see that, if you can identify it, you're like, oh, this is when I do this. Sometimes we do it by default without realizing, and self-awareness will help with discerning when you defer and whether it happens around specific topics of conversation or areas of life or certain people. And you can then look and see what are your trigger points, and being aware of them will help you to ascertain when you're most likely prioritizing someone else's beliefs and values and desires over your own. And then you can take steps to stop the process before it starts to, do that domino effect. It starts to roll out. And then the fifth thing is to be able to set boundaries. And this is something we've discussed here, in numerous episodes. But what, I quickly was able to reflect was, episodes 56, 66, and 77. It would have been interesting if it was 76. But if certain people tend to pressure you, or you feel pressured by them to live a life that's not true to you, then it's time to bust out with that Sharpie or a piece of chalk and start marking boundary lines. And yes, it could cause disruption in your relationships because you're disrupting the status quo and making clear what will and won't be tolerated. I mean, how far someone can go and when they've entered the danger zones. But here's the thing. This is also a great way to weed out those folks who don't really respect you and care about your well-being. Because the ones who do, guess what? They will support you through your journey and celebrate you along the way. They'll be the ones saying, it's about dadgum time. And the ones that don't really respect you and care about you, guess what? Bye, 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 bye. Okay, and some people you may not be able to say bye-bye to, but you can redefine your relationship with them. You can you can leave them right where they are and not keep trying to find ways to have them have a greater significance in your life. And that leads me to the sixth thing is is visualizing a new you can be really fun and and like an experiment, right? Especially because you've been living someone else's life or the script of a character that they've imagined and gave to you to live. And once you're aware that you have been living for others and living a life not yours, you can experiment with and explore your dreams and interests, ambitions and goals. And I'll say this with the fierceness: don't you dare place limits on yourself because of your age or anything else. I'm going to say that again. Don't you dare place limits on yourself because of your age or anything else. Unless you know for a fact that you're dying before or soon after you finish listening to this podcast, then you have no limits. Boom. Unless you're taking your last breath right now, there's no limits. So you need to be able to tap into the child within, that inner child, resetting the internal script created at that time, and allow your mind to take you where you've always been afraid to soar. This, plus everything else that I've shared, requires you to spend some quality time alone. And so that's the seventh recommendation, is some quality time alone. And yes, getting to know you, just like you spent years getting to know family and friends and coworkers or neighbors. So you need to be able to set aside distraction-free moments to be alone and begin reconnecting with your thoughts and feelings, the genuine ones, not the scripted ones. And this may mean that you only get those moments in the car. Maybe it is that you have to lock yourself into the bathroom. I don't know. Maybe the only time you'll get that is you have to partake in something that no one else likes. Like, I'm gonna, maybe it is fishing. I don't know what it is for you. But where you can, I guess fishing kind of in a way could be a distraction. Depends on how you look at it. But as long as you're alone, that's all that matters. No one pulling on you, no expectations, no one asking anything of you. And doing so without your devices buzzing and binging and tinging and zinging and all the other stuff. I mentioned dying a moment ago. Well, let's explore that briefly. Don't worry, I'm not going to get all gory and graphic, but one recommendation, which is number 8, is that you imagine your eulogy and what you will be remembered by when you're no longer here, right? No longer in that shell, that tent that you're carrying around. By thinking about how you want people to remember you, you can focus on what's most important to you. What will people say about who you were, what you did, the impact you had on others, the contributions you made? Will they say, wow, Tammy lived life to the fullest, chasing dreams and never letting a goal slow her down. She accomplished so much and gave back to countless people. She didn't have a bucket list. She had a life list and she lived it. Or will people say, well, Tammy was a nice woman. There was so much she wanted to do, but she was so distracted doing all the things her parents and husband expected of her. And she left here with a long list of to-dos. What a shame. Those are the 2 lives of Tammy, right? Here's the thing, folks. What's meant for you is for you. But you won't have it if you don't pursue it. It's not going to just plop in your lap and say, surprise, I know you've waited most of your life for me, and now here I am. Let's do big things together. No, you're going to put in some work. So they start as dreams that come through. Do you accept them? Do you embrace them? Okay, so what work are you going to put in? Who are you going to connect with? What opportunities are there that can help you to achieve that? What are the threats that you're going to have to overcome? Go around, go through, go over, go under. All of those have to be factored in. And when people try to come and poo-poo on your dreams, treat them like, when they have you get the water bottle to spray the puppy when you're training them. Just spritz. Just spritz folks right up out your way. Just spritz them right out the way. They have no place here. None at all. At all. Goodness. Oh, man. All right, folks. Here we go. I hope that what I shared has been helpful. Now, let's shout out some hardworking, smart-working people and the companies they've built to bring you the products and services that you desire. Got the theme music going for our business shout-outs. Our first business that we're going to shout out is Laundry Jet. They're headquartered in Oroville, California, and they're revolutionizing how laundry is done. One home at a time. They're the first vacuum-powered laundry chute that transports laundry from any room with ports installed directly to your laundry room. Oh my goodness. Unlike a traditional chute, Laundry Jet can be used in a single-story or multi-level home because it's not reliant upon solely on gravity. I just want you to visualize that. If you haven't seen it, you've got to see it. It can be installed into any custom laundry room design and existing laundry rooms, right? And it transports clothes up to 200 feet and is even adaptable for industrial use. I saw them on Instagram a while back and I just giggled with joy. And I love seeing their videos and seeing people using their system. You can visit their website and Instagram for their testimonials to see how the system works and to just get excited about having one. And when you're ready to get your own, you can get the Laundry Jet Plus or Laundry Jet Swift models. You can contact them for a quote by phone at area code 1-800-867-4580. That's 1-800-867-4580. Or find their list of resellers by visiting their website, laundryjet.com. On Instagram, you can find them at laundryjet. Shout out number 2 is Chappelle Candle Company. Chappelle Candle Co. I'm getting a little tongue-tied. They are a plant-based and hand-poured candle company. And I say this because so many people do not really understand the intricate, intentional artistry that comes from this. Like, you have to see it, you have to experience it yourself so that you can truly appreciate it. But Chappelle Candle Company, they're in downtown Frederick, Maryland. And for those of you who are passionate about investing your dollars into women-owned enterprises, Black-owned enterprises, Black women-owned enterprises, well, guess what? You've made a match with Chappelle Candle Company. The owner is Amira, and she started off making candles as a hobby in her apartment. Now they have a brick and mortar store where they offer other small businesses a space to sell their products. I love that. I love that. Everyone's growing and coming up together. She's on the cover of Sass magazine, and Chappelle Candle Company has also been nominated for the Sass Choice Award this year. So after you purchase a few candles from them, be sure to cast your vote to support them. They have new summer scents available, featuring sweet, musky, and even spicy blends. You can purchase in-store or online. And before I forget, they have candle making workshops, and they partner with Abound to sell their wholesale products online. So don't forget to check out those details if you're interested. Once again, that's Chappelle Candle Co. They are located at 25 East Patrick Street in Frederick, Maryland. You can reach them by phone at 1-240-486-9458. That's 1-240-486-9458. Their website is chappellecandleco.com. On Instagram, you can find them at chappellecandle.co. Shout out number 3, the Cobblers. I love them. Delivering world-class restorations to your finest luxury and leather goods nationwide. Yes, nationwide. Headquartered in Miami, Florida, they can repair bags, women's and men's shoes, sneakers, luggage, hats, wallets, and belts. And soon they will be accepting jewelry and watch repairs. They feature many of their artisans on their website, which is super cool because you get to learn about the people who work hard to restore your beloved leather goods. On their website, they have, I grabbed this little snippet, and it says, the Cobblers gives rise to a new cultural movement by empowering you to replace manufacturers' dusty and antiquated linear approach of make, use, and dispose with a more thoughtful, cyclical, upcycling approach so you can keep, customize, restore, and reuse 2 of your most precious and self-defining accessories, your footwear and your handbags. There you go. I already know that I'll be sending business their way. Yes, indeed. You can find them in Miami, Florida at 6300 Northeast 4th Avenue. Their website is thecobblers.com, and they're on Instagram at thecobblersofficial. So exciting. I hope that you will check out all of these businesses and that you will support them. You'll share them with others, and we'll be able to help lift up these businesses into some bigger and stronger and more philanthropic companies. I really do love what Chappelle Candle Company is doing by helping out other small businesses. That uplift and that synergy that is there, it has to be amazing. So I know that it's that time for us to wrap up because our music is on. So that's my cue that it's time for us to wrap up. But I have a quote I want to share with you before we do. It's a great quote, by the way. And if you're going to probably say, well, she said it already. And yes, I did. And I'm saying it again. It's from, I'm saying it again because it's a great quote. It's from Dr. Steve Maraboli. Remember I said it earlier. Stop living within the confines of how others define you. You weren't created to live their life. You were created to live yours. So live it. You can reignite that fire within and bring the passion back into your goals, dreams, ambitions, careers, and relationships by reclaiming control of your own life. Be unapologetically you. Yes, I had to say it again. I had to. I hope it resonates with each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for your love and support. I truly appreciate it.